What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. Tonight, we're getting a little scotchy tonight. Little single malt heaven tonight. We have some crazy good single malts from all different parts of Scotland. We're going to be diving into with my special guest, the Hood Sommelier, who I'm going to bring on in a few minutes here. Yeah, we connected a few shows ago, and he actually just took a trip overseas. And now that he's back, it'd be really cool to kind of get his perspective on taking that trip. I think he went to Scotland, and he had some amazing pictures on his Instagram. You guys can definitely follow him on Instagram. He's got a great YouTube channel if you guys haven't checked him out yet. But we'll get to Jaques in a little bit. But first, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. A little bit here. What do we got coming in? Man, it's been a week. It has been a week. I was supposed to drop a video today for What's on the Shelf Wednesday. And I think I'm still going to drop it today at after the show. I had such crazy work today going on. And then I got home and my computer was acting up. And, it was then my camera was being weird. It was just like a culmination of things. And I don't know. It was crazy. Either way, stay tuned after the show tonight, probably around whatever time. You'll see me drop my video from my top Irish whiskey available pot still, single pot still Irish whiskeys, which is part 3 of my 4-part series on available Irish whiskeys that probably a lot of people walk by on the shelf. Obviously, I got to give a huge shout out to Donald Rance for helping me out with that. He definitely opened my eyes to more Irish whiskey, especially better ones that are available that, what do most of us know? We know Redbreast, we maybe know the Spots, but there are some other really cool, some good Irish whiskeys out there, including, some different types that I didn't know about. You have single malt, you have single grain, then you have the blends, and then you have single pot still, which is, the kind of the tried and true, the most quintessential type of Irish whiskey you're gonna want to try. So yeah, that'll be up later. So big shout out to, let's see here, Tim Gorgeous is here, John Krantz, Dorrell Stewart, what's going on, man? Cameron Lochner is the first one in the chat tonight. Top Dog, what's going on, man? Sugar Kitty's here. Black Bourbon Family's in the house. Raise your drinks up casually, gotta always sing that. Trevor Kunkel, Whiskey Mountain says getting fancy with scotches. She says, nope, sorry, single malts. It's okay. Slapshot is here. What's going on, man? Look at Slapshot. Look at him. He's got the beard and the oh my God, dude. That is throwback. I love it. Richie Z, of course, is in the house. What's going on, man? IC86, what is happening right now? Whiskey Nose is here. Tim Cornet is in the house. What's going on? Whiskey Central. What's up, Shayla the Whaler? Gotta love Shayla. Shayla is also has a great channel, really focused on Scotch, does some bourbon too. She's got a great history knowledge as well. Really dig Shayla's channel. Dunny's here, Old Man Joe, Bourbon, Jared W. More people come in. Rob Shields is here. Emily Chambers is here. What is going on? Yes, definitely Sugar Kitty. We need to be careful tonight. Spectrum Sucks is in the house. Everything spicy. We will we got to plan my chip challenge very soon. We'll see how that goes. Haley George is here. I'm a little scared of it. I'm gonna tell you honestly, everything spicy. Let's see who else is here. A bunch of people coming in. Whiskey Central with the first. She said, I'm so ready for this. She's ready to rock and roll. First super chat of the night. Thank you so much, Shayla. Kenneth Rathburn is here. I see that 16-year seagrass. What's the word? I'm glad you pointed that out. So, what's up, Old Man Scotch? Oh, we got Piceville Rye tonight in Virginia. Very cool. Let's get this party started. All right. So, before we dive in, we meet our special guest and get into some of these scotches. I did want to this beauty came today. This is the Barrel Craft Spirit Seagrass. Now, this is the new special. Guys could check that out. Figured I'd excuse me while I whip this out. This is the 16-year-old seagrass. So this is the Gray Label series. They also They also released a gray label bourbon, but that one is very, very, very Dickel heavy. Barrel uses a lot of Dickel in their blends. That one in particular, it's like drinking Tennessee whiskey extract. It's a little bit much, but this beast, man, if you like the seagrass, this thing is ridiculous. Now, I was able to just order this on their website. I don't know if there's more of it left, but holy shit, this thing is a beast. It is pretty, isn't it? Yeah, 16-year seagrass, totally crazy. This retails, unfortunately, for about $250, but when your rye whiskey of the year for 2021 comes out with a 16-year age-stated product, it's kind of hard to say no to that. I'm just saying. Hey, the Bourbon Van's in the house. What's going on, guys? Bourbon Van, I know we have to collab real soon. I will message you on through Instagram, and we'll plan. We have to plan a live stream. We got to do something fun. I may want to challenge you guys with a blind tasting or something. We'll see how it goes. Maybe you guys will be my first. I've been thinking of doing something kind of like, not so much Madness, where it's a contest between 2 or 3 different YouTubers, but more along the lines what Aquavite does, but like bourbon and rye style, where you kind of have to guess the ages and you kind of have to guess where it could be from, and stuff like that. But really kind of more of a singular type of. It'll really be me. It'll really be on me to pick different whiskeys that I want to kind of challenge you guys with, thinking maybe like if I put Still Austin Cask Strength in there, for example, you could be easily fooled that could be a way older whiskey than a 2-year-old. So stuff like that, like kind of changing the perceptions of the whiskey and trying to challenge you guys on that. So I think Bourbon Van, I think you and I, we have a good opportunity to maybe do that with the 2 of yous. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So without further ado, I actually have a little bit of the Barrel Seagrass in here. I'm going to start my night with that. The Barrel Seagrass 16-year. Cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out on this Wednesday, Whiskey Wednesday night. I got to take a sip first. Oh, holy hell, that's good. It's got more of the rum characteristic, but also more of like the coastal characteristics. It's a little bit more salty than the regular seagrass, which I love. Holy shit, the finish on this. ADHD Whiskey, Jack needs to give us some wisdom from Africa right away. He's coming on. So if you guys have not seen Hood Sommelier, I was trying to call him Jacques, but he's like, it's close. The French way is Jacques. So people just call him Jack, but I'm going to try to keep it friggin' French tonight and call him Jacques. So without further ado, I want to welcome in my special guest. We're going to be sipping some crazy good single malts tonight, but we're going to be talking about all types of spirits. So if you have a bourbon, you have a rye, please join in and welcome Hood Sommelier. What is going on, my man?
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? You don't have like a pim 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 pim. I'm not seeing any fires. Nothing going on. You're killing me, brother.
You want fireworks?
I want fireworks. I'm expecting, and not to be edgy, but a drum roll, something.
All right, this is all I have for you. You can have this. I fell. That's all I got.
Okay. That Elijah Craig barrel proof would do that to me. I have a couple nights that did happen to me. Oh, Nebraska in the house. What's up, Scott? Scott is from here in Nebraska, where I'm from. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah. So Jack, tell us a little bit about your channel. What got you into whiskey? How long have you been in Nebraska, first of all?
I actually came to Nebraska as a baby. I came here when I was 19 years old.
Wow. Okay.
I came to study. I stayed and had a kid and graduated and worked here and finally owned a business. And now I'm a business owner. I own a couple businesses here in Nebraska. I'm in insurance and finances by day. Knowing that obviously in insurance and finance, everybody's going out golfing. You have to have something interesting to catch new people coming in when you actually are talking to them. I'm a terrible golfer. I slice my ball all the time.
As we all are, as we all
Uh,
are.
but I can tell you one thing I knew to actually, just like in Africa, the way we were raised is if you come into someone's house, if you're going to have a conversation, if you want to present a treat of friendship, you start with a good spirit. So what I've always done when I went on the golf course, just bring a whiskey, bring something. But I realized that everybody turned me into the kind of the whiskey guy. And I was
And by
getting
that, I was
more.
the whiskey guy. So,
Yeah.
so,
I
so,
was
so building,
truly
yeah. So building those relationships with
correct.
clients, and then what from there? It just kind of your interest kind of took off from there.
No, actually, the worst part of it is the people that were coming in will be like, "Hey, dude, I'm having a party at the house. You think you can come in and kind of help me out and
Okay.
talk about your whiskey the way you talked about on the golf course and whatnot?" And it became like a weekend gig. You know, people will reach out and kind of they'll reach out and I will go in. I'm involved a lot in the immigrant community, so every time they're having a party, it's like, "Hey, Jack, alcohol. Tell us what we need to buy, what we need to have here." So I started bartending for a bit. Then obviously started getting more into it out of pure curiosity. Really, it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
okay, if I'm doing this thing for these people, maybe I should truly know about cocktails, and I should truly know about spirits, and I should know all these things that stop bullshitting people. To be honest,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I got deeper into it. I grew up in a French culture, obviously, so I know a lot about single malt. So single malt was something in the immigrant community that's really consumed. So, dude, I got into that. Start learning about the island. Start knowing about the distillation process. Start watching people on YouTube telling me about it. But again, I wasn't smart enough to come online. I didn't think my English was good enough to actually come tell people about something I know. So I would do it more like in my basement, right? Just
Yeah.
having my friends around and you know start teaching them about stuff. The biggest thing is most people wouldn't drink bourbon because it's too sweet. Most immigrant like things that are more stronger and more malt based versus actually corn based. So it was me trying to convince them now to actually try bourbon. So I'm like, well, let me get into it. Let me know more about it. 6 years later, I know more about it. COVID hit. I'm home. And I don't think my 13-year-old at that time was excited to let me just sit home and tell her about all the things I'm nosing, tasting, and whatnot. So a friend of mine was like, dude, you know so much about this stuff. You should totally be online. You should totally be doing this just like everybody online, and you
Yeah.
should be out there.
Now
So
you have a pretty solid Instagram following,
yeah,
and you're so I watched some of your video. I actually watched. I was in the chat room and you were on with Scott and Bart
yeah,
from Scotch Test Dummies, just like two of the greatest guys, two OGs from the YouTube world, and you consider yourself a Pete head at this
yes,
point.
I am a Pete head.
You like the smoke, you like the tar, you like
You
all
the
that stuff.
peatier. I would sleep in the bed of Pete if I could. That's how much of a Pete head I am. Like by the time the Octomore is released, the one behind you right there, by
Hmm.
the time it's released, I'm ordering directly from Bruckletti. I don't even wait for it to hit the state. By
Yeah.
the time any art bag is released, I'm literally already
Yeah.
hitting the art bag directly.
And on the complete opposite of that, Saucy Shane is drinking mellow corn and Mountain Dew tonight.
Hey, you know what? There's one thing I've learned in this industry. Drink what you like, just don't push it on others, right? Drink what you like, just don't push it on me, right? So I'm a Pete head, but if somebody walked to me and say, "Hey, uh, I don't like Pete," no problem. Guess what? I got rye, I got bourbon, I got blended whiskey, I got rum, I got cognac. So 2 years ago, when I was doing these things, I was like, I really want to professionally know how things are done. So I decided to go for my WSCT, which is a wine and spirit expert. And I learned about every single spirit, every single graduated with honors there. And I really wanted to walk in the industry knowing exactly what in the hell I'm talking to. Because as a kid, I've always liked, how things are made.
Hmm.
So I really wanted to start talking to distillers and my main goal was to educate. It's not to show off my bottles, it's not to show what I have. It's really to educate the new kid walking into the whiskey industry, knowing we all know all the noise that happened, all the hype around the whiskey industry. I was victim of it 5 years ago, and I just wanted someone to truly just walk in and go, oh, I can relate to this person. He's a regular guy. So that's
Yeah, I mean, I think we have some things in common in that point because what drew me to doing whiskey videos was the education, getting into the history and the people behind it, the distillation and all that other stuff. So we have the probably the most important question tonight. What do you want to start with?
well, I wanted
what are
to
we
actually
starting with?
stop you. I wish I was on. Actually, I just came back from Ireland.
Oh, you were in Ireland.
I went to
Okay.
Ireland.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm actually last year also I presented on the Belfast Whiskey Fest.
hmm
And I can tell you that my word of Irish whiskey just got open, like bust wide open.
Yeah, I mean, Irish whiskey is the fastest growing segment
Oh
in the
my
world
God.
right now.
I went
It's
to
crazy.
Waterford.
hmm
I went to Waterford, and brother, when I tell you, I wish I can take 10 whiskey lovers with me in that Rick house, because I was tasting so many barrels. By the time I was done, I was loopy. Like you think you fell off your chair. I couldn't make it to the car. That's how bad it was.
Yeah,
But
I mean, Waterford's kind of doing an approach, kind of like what Bruckletti does by using these different types of the barley that locally sourced, trying them and the farm and kind of calling out exactly where they're from.
correct.
I think Waterford, a couple of their bottles have hit the United States. I haven't had a chance to get any yet, but for what I got a couple samples from someone, and man, what I tried was really impressive for it being such young whiskey.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I can't wait till that stuff ages up.
It's been day 10 now. I still don't have my luggage, but there is something in that luggage. I guess the question is, do you like peat?
Oh yeah, I love peated whiskey. Yeah.
Okay, there's something in that luggage. I'm gonna tell you is a top secret project from Ireland. I had to ask them to give me a sample when I was leaving a distillery that could not be named yet. But I want a peat head to try it. I brought two. I was like, I know one is going to somebody, but the other one is actually I'll try to send it to you once I get my luggage. And I tell you what, we should be scared of Irish whiskey. They come in hard.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Cheers to Brent Bailey. Brent Bailey got a promotion today, so sipping on some Old Car to celebrate. Which
Ooh, yeah,
one did you
Old Carter is my stuff.
yeah,
Old
which one
Carter
did
is my
you
stuff.
which one did you crack open, Brent? I'm curious which one you got. So what scotch you want to start with tonight, man?
Okay, you know what? I'm open to anything. Honestly, most of the scotch you're talking about, I only have like backup of those because I drink those like years ago. I'll
Mhm.
be honest, in the last 2 years, most of my find on the shelf scotch are just sitting pretty on a shelf in my basement, because I always get very curious of independent bottlers.
Oh, for
I
sure.
really,
For sure.
really, really like to
Oh,
get.
thank you.
I really always like to get into those independent bottlers.
Well, yeah, you said you have a Glendronach 18. You want to start with that?
You know what? Yeah, I didn't, like an idiot. I didn't pull that. Let me pull that. Yeah,
All right, so we're gonna
I
start with,
do have a Glenlivet 18 here, a Noban 18 here, and the Macallan 18, and obviously I had the Buna 18 as well.
oh, dude, let's do the Boone 18.
Okay, all right.
All right, we'll
You
start with
have
that
me
one.
crack that.
So now this is the old bottling I have of the Boone 18. They've since changed the label. Now it's a blue label on this bottle. But Bunnahabhain, if you guys know, you follow my channel, you know I love Bunnahabhain. Bunnahabhain is from Islay, but they're extremely. They have peated expressions, but they're lightly peated. But they do have heavily peated expressions. That's the new bottle
That's a new bottle
that Jack has, which has the blue label on it. But yeah,
Now
46.3% ABV, non-chill filtered, just Islay malty goodness.
I will tell you right now, I'm Buna obsessed.
Dude, I'm
Here
right
is
with
how
you.
Buna
I've
obsessed.
been Buna 12 is the one is the single malt that I have probably turned more bourbon drinkers onto Scotch than any other bottle, probably along with the Glenmorangie 14-year Quinto Rubin. Those two, I think, have been the top two bottles that I've gotten certain bourbon drinkers into Scotch with.
Yeah,
Here.
I will tell you. I have a bottle here that I want to share with you as well. That actually any Scotch lover any bourbon lover can easily walk into.
Absolutely, man. I love that. All right, so let's you want to get into this?
Let me pour this right
You
now.
pouring it?
This is my backup. Like I say, I have the old bottle. I drank it. And I was saying the last year, I actually haven't opened any regular expression. I've been a lot into independent bottlers, like a lot of. I mean, we start from. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I know you
Bourbon.
got a lot of the SNWS stuff, which is
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. Oh no, that's how I actually study whiskey. So I can't that I have because I call it that was my study Bible.
Oh man.
So I have probably about 50 to 60 bottle of those, and every different expression the last 5 years. So
Cohen, Quinto Rubin, and Signet are great with cigars. Yeah, those are good call outs for cigar.
Segment is amazing.
Yeah.
With or with you know what? Try Segment with dessert. That you would thank me later. Preferably white chocolate dessert.
Yeah, I see you got some old fits in the background too. You got so what are some of your top bourbons you like?
Top bourbons?
Just a couple. Give me a couple of your favorite bourbon brands that you like that stick out to you.
As low end or high end?
Let's start with the high end ones first.
I'm a Noel Carter head.
Nice.
So I literally have from batch 1 to anything that has been released at all.
All right, we'll drink some Old Carter a little bit. Okay, we can do that too.
I would definitely say when I'm not drinking on the high end side, if I'm not drinking Old Carter, definitely when it comes to bourbon. When you were talking about barrel, I bought 3 of this when they came out.
Which one is that one? That's the
bourbon release.
Oh, that's the bourbon. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I bought 3 of them. That's how much I loved it.
Yep.
That's truly how much I loved it.
Oh man, I love this one. What do you get in the glass in this one, man? I get this brings me back to like roasted chestnuts, and I also get like some sherry.
The first note immediately is sherry. It's like a sherry bomb hitting your nose right away. But I will tell you right now,
it's that raisin, that dark raisin note.
Correct. It's just for me, it reminds me of those red grapes, like very red grapes, just ripe and ready to be picked.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain saltiness, like it reminds me of the sea when I smell it. There's a certain saltiness on the top of the flavor that comes in. It is like I don't know how to. It's like a coastal breeze. That's what I get on the nose.
Now, have you been to Isla?
I have not been to Isla, but I can tell you where I'm from in Africa is just like Isla. Like when you describe the territory, rain, kind of, yeah,
rain, very very overcast.
Correct.
Okay, man. All right, man. Cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. Let's go.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Oh, I forget how good that is.
Beautiful dark cherry, tobacco, leather.
Yeah, the salinity is something that I picked up on more as the bottle opened. I felt like when I first opened it, it was more sweet than coastal. But as this has really opened up, the coast notes have really come out.
Yeah. You get. I mean, think about it. Look at this level of oiliness on it.
Yeah,
and it's not really high ABV, but it's still oily.
Yeah, the non-chill filtered really kind of stands out when it comes to scotches to me. I know some people don't I talked to a lot of, bourbon guys, and they're really not into scotch. It's 80 proof. It doesn't really do anything for me.
Nah.
But if you know what to look for, if you know to find the non-chill filtered, and you find the ones that are a little bit higher in ABV, it makes a huge difference in scotch. I even think even more so than bourbon.
But I will tell you right now, do you know why I actually get really interested into independent bottlers?
What?
Most of them actually will fill your whiskey at cask strength.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
for that reason, I love independent bottler because I have a Buna 16, 12, or 18 independent bottler, all at cask strength.
yeah, there is a cask strength version of Bunahab in 12 year.
Correct.
That
No, I have that. I told you I'm Buna obsessed. So I have
you got one of those?
Oh yeah, I have that here. I have the Festival of Isla one that was released this year. This is the 12-year cask strength right here. Let's see, where did I put that? Now I will tell you right now, the Buna you want to have, I can send you a handshake. Is this? Is the Moineau of the Bordeaux cask.
Oh, the Bordeaux. I have the orange top, the PX one.
So this right here.
Yeah.
This is
nice.
This is the stuff right here. The Moineau, because everything that come from the Moineau and the Courterie are usually very heavily peated. So you will
Yeah, I mean, if you're like into the independent bottlers like the Edredors of the world, SMWS
Gordon
you
MacPhail.
mentioned. Yeah, Gordon MacPhail. Those are basically like a bourbon, like a single barrel pick that you don't, cask strength. You get like a nice, I mean, to have that type of potency in a single malt is just some of them just like will change your life, man.
Ardbeg Ugadal. I tell people all the time.
All right, so do you like Ugadal better or Korviekin?
Actually, Ugadal.
Oh, see, I'm a Korviekin guy.
Yeah, I know. Corey, the Corey guy always think they're the best kid on the block, but I will tell you right now, Ugadal is the real OG.
Oh man. Well, what's a good scotch to buy for a beginner?
Oh, I love that question.
I know. That's so I have my selections usually. I already said Buna Hobbin 12 was one of them, but what do you recommend? If you have a newbie,
I don't even get anybody on Isla when you're a beginner.
All right, so where do you go?
When you're a beginner, I always tell you Glenfiddich 14.
Okay.
Because it's aged in ex-bourbon cask and American oak.
All right, so that's that's one of the ones I go to. So
yeah,
totally agree with you.
Very easy to walk into.
Yep, totally agree with you.
Glenlivet 18.
Okay.
Glenlivet 18. Again, for the same reason that we have all these caramel bourbon note that you can find very easily. Glendronach 12. That actually is one.
That's another good one I go to for sure. Glendronach 12. Yep. But too, Glendronach 12 is now chill filtered.
Yes, but again, we talking beginner here, so they won't know the difference, right?
I know. I just want to get your reaction because you've been into this for a while.
I have the old one.
I know, but when you heard that they're going to switch to chill filtering, what did you think about that?
Never gonna buy it. I mean, dude,
never gonna buy it.
Never gonna buy it. It's like I have 12 years from 2018. I'm good.
Okay.
So I will tell you right now, Ocean Toshin 12.
Oh, Ocean Toshin. Okay,
Ocean Toshin 12. Yep. Or if we have to call it properly, Toshin 12.
Yeah, Toshin. That's right.
Yeah, and I will tell you right now, my favorite single malt of all time, or blended malt of all time.
Oh, blended
Johnny
malt.
Walker 15. For me, I have the Island Green, which is the gin beverage one. But Johnny Walker 15, if you're really feeling feisty.
I always tell everyone Johnny Walker 15 year is the best the best like available in the lineup. Yeah.
ever in the whole Johnny
Like,
Walker
I
line.
don't think Blue Label can even sniff the 15.
Nope, nope. I hate to come up very strong on this, but
You can come up
FUCK,
strong on it. It's fine.
FUCK to the Blue Label and all the people that are dingling their Blue Label around people. The best Johnny Walker, and I put my YouTube/Instagram career on it, is Johnny Walker 15. And you know
Mhm.
what? You can buy 3 for the price of a Blue Label.
Yeah.
That I put my career on it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a better
true.
one for the
You
buck.
can buy 3 of them for the price of a
Yeah,
Blue Label. Yep.
correct. And
Yep.
is much better. And if people understood what type of blend was put into the green, they will know that is the best juice that Diageo was able to grab, that Jim Beverage was able to blend into that. If you
Yeah.
look at the green, those distillery grains that juice that were put together, oh my God, you are missing out. Johnny Walker.
Quick shout out. I do want to mention fundraiser with ADHD whiskey and the new World Stop Whiskey Taster to benefit the Colorado firefighters. Lots of bottles. Average drinker. I know you had sent me a message through Patreon. We'll connect on that so I can donate, something here to that cause. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. Drop the date for that again. Really excited for that one. That should be awesome.
Yeah,
What's
put the
going
date
on,
in.
Fred?
Send me a message as well.
Yeah, for sure. The first batches of the green label were epic, says Terrence Scott. Blue Label Port Ellen edition is the best Johnny Walker, but it's real pricey. Oh yes.
We're not talking about go break the bank. Like I tell people all the time, if you put me on a budget when it comes to single malt, like bourbon, maybe somebody will get me on that. But
Yeah.
if you put me on a budget to go look for single malt, I guarantee you give me $100. I'll come with just amazing juice,
Yeah.
right? That is 3 or 4 bottle of them that will be killer.
All right, we've been talking about Glendronach, so I'm moving to the 18, the Glendronach Allardus.
Yeah, I'm an open mind. Mine is somewhere there.
All right, go get it.
Somewhere in the midst of the Glendronach, unless I put it in the back of the closet.
So thankfully, this is still one of the non-chill filtered ones.
Yeah, I still have one of the non-chill filter one as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find some more of this stuff before the non-chill stuff goes away.
Usually call my people in Scotland.
Yeah, so this is a good point too. Sometimes the bourbon drinker does want higher proof when it comes to getting into Scotch. Glendronach cask strength, Glengoyne teapot dram, but also one of the easier ones to find is the Aberlour Abunad.
Yeah,
cask strength sherry bomb, which you could get for about $80. But I mean, you talk about cask strength, and they also have a bourbon barrel aged cask strength one. I think it's the Kazama. I forgot the name, how you pronounce that one, but yeah.
What?
Cheers to Mr. Bonham. I mean, Jason. Yes, 21090. What's up, man?
Yeah, there will not be any Glendronach now because it's in the back of the closet. If I get in that right now, people are gonna start screaming.
So here's a good question. What is the, and this is probably just based on your collection, what you love. What's the what do you think is the craziest bottle you own? What's the most, let's just say the most rare. Doesn't have to be the highest price one you own. What's the most rare one in your collection, you think?
I have a 42-year-old Bunnahabhain.
A 42-year-old Bunnahabhain? Oh my God. I'm just gonna leave. Gonna go.
That I think there is only 199 people in the world that have that bottle.
So real quick, Friday night. Thanks so much. Love the Hood Som. The fundraiser is going to be epic. 8 p.m. This Friday night. So awesome. Okay. The mash bill. What's going on? Jack has an amazing whiskey collection. Bourbons, rye, single malts. His favorite bourbon is Old Tub. That's the ones covered in glitter. Wags.
Obviously for my birthday, a friend of mine wanted to surprise me, and that's still one of the bottles that I hold dear. He walked into my house and he said, I have something that I'm gonna give you that I know you will never buy for yourself.
Okay.
And I said, what? And then he gave me a big old bag, and I opened it, and it was a Macallan Sir Peter Blake.
Holy shit! Really? Wow.
Macallan Sir Peter Blake. So
Yeah, that's
instead of giving me $500, because
yeah,
he
basically.
actually told me he got it at retail.
Yeah, and it's
Instead of
probably
giving
it's
me
probably
five
worth
hundred
it's
dollars,
probably worth a lot more now.
oh yeah, it's going. Last time I checked out in a store, it was $4,500.
There you go. There you go. Here's a good call out. Tamdu 15 is a great bottle as well.
Yeah,
The Tamdu batch proofs are also great for I think for people who want a higher proof because they're attainable. Absolute cask strength sherry bombs. Edgeador 10, 12 year Caledonian sherry bombs as well.
correct.
When are Scotch distillers going to stop adding color? Just a little bit of a turnoff. I mean,
Okay, I would let you take that for once, and then I can come in.
all right, go for it. You go for it. What are your thoughts on that?
So I will tell you right now. My education usually for people is read labels, right? The same question you just asked me when you said, "Hey, they're chill filtering something right now. What do you? How do you feel about it?" I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? So read labels. Labels are everything. I said the educated consumer is the one that read labels.
Yeah,
I
but
want
a lot of labels won't tell you if there is color added though.
they have to tell you if there was no color added.
Yeah, if there's no color added, it'll say it.
Right. So which means the opposite is an open
Okay.
gate. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I
Yeah.
tell people read labels, because for me, honestly, if I'm reading on the label that is giving me transparency saying no additive, no coloration, none chill filter, now you getting my nipples hard. You are getting me there now, right? You're getting me excited to actually pick up this bottle. But if I'm not reading any of those things, guess what? I'm not down for it. Some people will ask me sometimes, they're like, "Oh, you're a Scotch lover. Why don't you have this bottle?"
What's
I
up,
said,
Kim?
"Because I read the label.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't have it." So everybody got to make money, but I love people that have transparency. That's all I have. I will tell you on that one.
Yes, Whiskey Throttle. You do see a new jabroni. That's right. 4,500. Me and Jason C will take two. You might be in on yourself with that one. Hey, Two Bills Down is here. What is up, Swami? Let's see here.
Somebody
Yep,
said
yeah,
you're staying in my underwear.
yeah. If it doesn't say no color added, always assume that there is color added. Correct. Yep.
Correct.
Is it? Yeah. Is that? But that's not an actual rule, is it?
But no. Usually, most distillery take pride in telling you there's no color added.
Yeah. So Whiskey Throttle. No, they have to say that they are unchill filtered, or they don't have to say that at all, and it still could be non-colored. Yeah. Correct. Okay. That's
so I always say something. It's like let me put it in word people understand. People that have BMWs or have what do you call it, or have Rolexes.
Mm-hmm.
They make sure what they do. That's how I explain good Scotch or pride in Scotch, because most master distiller, master blenders will tell you they take pride in putting that on the label because that stands out for what they're doing. So if somebody's not talking about it, guess what? What?
It's nothing they want to talk about.
Yeah. So when I talk about independent bottlers, because if you look at a lot of independent bottlers, they will tell you is a single fill, it's a second fill, it is a hedgehog, or it is a cask, it is how many year, the origin. I love independent bottlers. Like, hey, I may not look like the fancy one, but guess what? I got substance. So look at all the things that I have.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, same thing with NCF. Yep, totally. Let's see here. All right, so before we get into our next dram here, man, I'm loving this one. I do want to go through a couple of quick news updates here.
Correct.
And probably something that you might have heard, which is an Irish whiskey news hit about Bushmills.
Yeah.
So Bushmills, is the new. This is the newest permanent addition to Bushmill's single malt range, which also includes the 10, 16, and 21 year. But it's also the debut of a packaging redesign for the single malts that include kind of this new decanter style bottle. So this is made from 100% unpeated malted barley and triple distilled in copper pot stills. It separates itself from the pack by marrying two 12-year-old whiskeys, one aged in Oloroso sherry butts and one in bourbon barrels, and then finishing the blend in Marsala wine casks from Sicily. This will be priced at $60 with an ABV of 40%, and the age is obviously 12 years old. So any of you Irish whiskey heads that are excited about that one, let us know in the chat. I think for the types of match, I do wish it was a little bit of a higher ABV.
That's what I'm saying. When you said 4, I was like very excited till you said I'm the
until
fluffer.
I said 40%.
Yeah, till you said I'm the fluffer, and then I was like,
all right. So next up in American single malt news. So now we're doing American single malt. It's the Peat Week. So Westland
grand finale, the grand finale.
Yeah, the grand finale from Westland, the Peat Week. This is probably one of Westland's most anticipated releases every year. This is a 7-year-old American single malt from Washington. This will be $100. It's out this month. ABV of 54.5%.
Okay.
So this is the grand finale. It's the last time we're going to see Peat Week from them. I don't know if they're going to be moving it into a different offering, something peated, but starting in 2023, Westland will celebrate Peat Week with its new Solom American single malt. Okay. So Solom uses peat sourced locally in Washington State, in line with Westland's aim to focus on everything local provenance. So
yeah, the label. You were right, Scott. The label looked like circus peanuts.
Yeah.
Label is not appealing at all, but
I think it'll stand out for a collector. Honestly,
yeah, it does. It does look like circus peanut.
Yeah, all the Peat Weeks have had pretty cool labels. And lastly, a little bit of bourbon news for those of you guys that like Yellowstone. Yellowstone is releasing the Select Landmark Edition. Now, these are going to be bottled at 46.5% ABV for $40. This release celebrates Yellowstone's whiskey's 150th anniversary, features 6 editions, with each label featuring a scenic attraction in Yellowstone National Park, the place that inspired the bourbon's name. Now, the list of 6 attractions includes the Lower Falls, Old Faithful, the Grand Spring, the Minerva Terrace. A donation of $1.50 for each bottle sold will be made to the National Parks Conservation Association.
And it is 93%.
Yeah. So, in 2010, 7th generation Beam family members, Stephen and James Beam, they founded Limestone Branch Distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky, to restore Yellowstone to its former glory.
Mm-hmm.
They teamed up with Luxco, which still owns the rights to the brand, and Luxco acquired a 50% stake in the venture. Limestone Branch also owns Minor Case Rye and Bowling and Birch Gin.
Which, if you never had Minor Case Rye, I feel sorry for you.
I think it's a solid whiskey. I do prefer the cask strength.
I would tell you right now
that I've had from Yellowstone, but
I don't want to be a bummer, but the 93 Yellowstone was the first ever Yellowstone I've had. Kind of gave up on Yellowstone after having that, but then I've had the barrel picks and the cask strength one. I'm like, oh, they have some good stuff going on around here.
I could not agree. When I hear Yellowstone, I'm like, oh man, we got to get that's all Adriana. But yeah, the whiskey is just not that great to me, and it sucks too because it's made by the Beam family, who restored that distillery, and I know how much
they're talented. Yeah,
and Adriana loves Beam, so you would think that'd be a natural progression there, but it's just not. And then on top of that, you have. I mean, talk about just putting out 6 bottles with 6, people that love Yellowstone. You got to collect them all.
Correct.
This is where we are with whiskey. Everyone's like collecting them, and
whiskey is a new Pokemon.
Oh yeah, it's Pokemon cards.
Yep,
for sure.
Whiskey is a new Pokemon card, and I'll be the first one to say I will collect them all if I could.
All right, man. What are we drinking next?
What do you have there beside the?
I have the Glenmorangie 18. I
Okay,
have the Talisker 18.
okay.
What else? What else do I got hanging around? I have Glen Scotia 15 back here. You said you like the 15 years.
Yeah, the Glen Scotia is there. Yeah, is one of the one. Okay. You know what? You pour something, I'll pour some because I've been wanting to actually drink a little bit of this Johnny Walker Green here.
Oh, he's getting the Johnny Walker Green out.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
All right.
I just need me a little pour of this Island Green.
I'm gonna go Talisker 18 tonight with
If
this one.
if you guys are traveling, do me a favor, grab this. If you're traveling, is a liter, is usually coming a liter for the travel edition. Please grab this. You will thank me later. You definitely would thank me later.
The mash and bourbon has more stories than a library. Yeah, that's very true. The release said 93.4 proof. Donald Rance, is that for which one? Is that for the Bushmills? Is that what you're talking about, Donald? Westland takes my money.
Yeah.
It's not collectible. I will pass. What is the best barrel? Man, that's a tough question.
I will tell you right now, there's only 2 barrels that I drink. The rest I just have because I know people.
Drums and drams. I actually agree with you from that standpoint. Glen Scotia
Oh,
15.
15 is better than 18 any
15 is
day.
better than 18, and 15 is one of the best values you're going to find.
Right.
Let's see here. Yep, I got Glen Scotia 15. I got let's see. Glen Scotia Double Cask is a great entry level if you already know you like Scotch. So the Loch Lomond bottles, GS15 is one of the best all-around bottles
GS15
today.
is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. GS15 is good.
Oh, the Bushmills 12. Yeah, I mean that press release said 80 proof. But hey, if it does end up being a little bit at 90 something proof, like you said, that now you're piquing my interest with that release. So, oh man, this is just sweet and salty goodness right here.
Dude.
Oh yeah, so actually, I want Jack to talk to this a little bit because you posted this earlier. The
Yes, I
announcement from
did.
Glendronach, the 50-year expression.
I'll be more than happy to read you what what I was sent from Glendronach. When I saw it today, I say these people must think I have a lot of money because they chose violence this morning.
let me see if I can find a picture of this bottle.
I can always send it to you as well. But
I
when I
think I
saw
found
it,
it.
I'm like,
Let's see here.
they chose violence this morning.
Wait, is it? Oh, here it is. Glendronach unveils 50-year-old. Okay, yeah, here we go.
So
Man,
I will
look at
tell you
that
right now,
beauty.
the Glendronach today announced the release of their first ever 50-year-old single malt. The Highland Distillery, oldest and rarest single malt whiskey to date, distilled in 1971. This expression represents the milestone of the near 200 history of the Glendronach history. The Glendronach is aged 15 years, has quietly been over, just let's forget about the fancy word. For 15 years, he went through a Pedro Jimenez, an Oloroso sherry cask, and then a Spanish cask. And then he went through 5 casks, actually. And finally selected this year by Rachel Barry herself after tasting it. And the final maturation was put back into a Pedro Jimenez before they actually bottled it.
Look at that! Look at that beauty! Oh my God!
It's it has simplicity and complexity, natural appearance. According to the notes are ripe dark cherry, plum, and a harmony of stone fruit and a little bit of tobacco note. It's very dense, dark chocolate, tobacco, cocoa, and it come at 43.8 ABV. And according to them, they have whoa close to only 100 bottles of it. It is going into auction to be sold in January 2022 for most. Only a few are coming on market.
So the price I saw for that is what, 25 grand?
Yeah, MSRP.
MSRP is 25 grand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they actually will tell you it's not MSRP, is SRP, suggested retail price.
Yeah.
Which is 25,000, which means somebody can look you in the face and tell you, here's 40,000, give me my money.
Yeah. So good question from Everything Spicy. Why do a lot of scotches names start with Glen? It means narrow valley.
Correct.
In Gaelic.
Correct. And most of those distilleries that are there are actually on or off of a valley when you actually see the structure. Glenfiddich is between two valleys. They call it the Valley of the Deer, or the Valley of the Glenfiddich means the Valley of the Deer, of the Valley of the Buck, depending on how you describe it. That's what Glenfiddich is. That's why you always see a buck or a deer on Glenfiddich.
Yep.
Same thing for Glenmorangie. Most of those distillery, or the original location of those distillery, have always been in between valleys because of the water source that was passing by, or that. So you see a lot of glens.
So give us some flavor notes from that Johnny Walker you're having. Is it that different than the domestic 15?
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 15 is a blend of four. The what do you call it? The Island Green have a little bit of coal Isla in it, so you have a little bit of peatiness that come on the Island Green versus the 15.
Okay. So a little bit more peat influence, a little more smoke.
Correct. So you have this subtle level of peat that just hits you right on the nose. You don't feel it really on the taste, but you have it a little bit right on the nose when you walk in.
Hey, the bourbon judge is in the house. What is going on, my man? Bourbon judge is here.
For all of you guys who don't know, next Tuesday on YouTube is going to be me and the bourbon judge. I don't know what happened. Jason, you want to know something funny?
Sure.
Because I'm always petty, I have to talk about things that are funny. So I came on the scene 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you right now, there is a few people that I would definitely hold dear to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing is, Jason, I didn't ask you for us to actually come together. You actually, for the big following you have, you actually said, hey, I would love to have you on.
Yeah. I
will tell you right now, I didn't even think of you, because when I saw you online, I'm like, this guy is way too big. He won't even talk to me. That's the assumption I made.
I think that's the assumption a lot of people get sometimes. But I love having new channels on, no matter what side. Everyone, there's a place for everyone.
So, Scotch Dummies and a list of a bunch of people I've emailed and went, hey, I'm building my YouTube. Would love to come on and that. I emailed 20 YouTube channels. Only 2 answered back.
Only 2?
Only 2.
Okay.
Answered back. And one was the Scotch Dummies that said, dude, when you want to do it? It's like, we've been watching you on Instagram forever. We didn't even know you have time to talk to us.
Yeah, Scott and Bart are good dudes, man.
They are amazing.
Yeah. They're amazing.
The second ever place I've been on YouTube as far as a collab is you. So I wanna take a moment here. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass or anything, but when people want to prove to you that they're who they are and they're genuine, guess what? They come at you immediately and they show you genuinely. So I appreciate you just having me on. You didn't have to. You can do your show any day, anytime. But the simple fact that you actually just said, come on, I appreciate this. If you guys go and follow my channel, I appreciate this, but I'm in it for good intention. I'm just here to educate.
No, I appreciate it. I watched your channel after you reached out, and I'm like, yeah, I loved it's your enthusiasm that got me. When I see someone that's that enthusiastic about whiskey, They're not really into the bullshit. They just care about the whiskey itself. And like you said, the education part. You know, I was like, yeah, man, let's come on. I don't do a lot of Scotch shows. Generally, most of my viewers look to me for bourbon American whiskey, and I get that. But man, every now and then, it's just good to open up some good single malts, and just you forget how good they are when you're so focused on trying to review bourbons and ryes and American whiskeys all the time. It's the thing.
Even what is behind you, those Irish single malt there. I push an old lady in the store to get my hand on that 7-year cask strength of a Blue Spot. Yeah. I mean, you don't play with my Blue Spot. Same thing for the small batch of the Redbreast cask strength.
Yeah. I actually wasn't a big fan of that this year. Last year, I should say. I like the 12. Right now. I like the 12 cask strength much better.
That small batch cask strength got me, and the Blue Spot 7-year cask strength.
The Blue Spot 7-year cask strength was my world whiskey of the year. I love.
Oh yeah. I put backup of backup, and I will tell you right now. Yeah, I will tell you. Red will tell you. I always tell her about Scotch. You know, I literally told her, I said, Jolie, you need to get into Scotch, and I sent her some samples, and she's hooked.
So here's a good question from Mark Deonda. With all the Scotch, bourbon, and rye special releases, besides sherry, which barrel finishes do you think are the best to find? Personally, for me, I like a mix of, and usually this is what you find. So, you know, sometimes you find the sherry bombs, but it's all sherry. But I do like a mix of bourbon and sherry most of the time. But if I'm not looking for sherry, I generally, I don't know why, but I love Marsala finished whiskeys. There's something about Marsala that gets me. Sometimes rum, I think, can be good with a single malt. I've had some really good rum single casts, especially from SMWS. I think one of the rum ones I got was really, really good. I think, rum and Marsala, I mean, are probably the top two that I look for if I'm looking for something. When it comes to bourbon American whiskey, they're finishing it in everything these days. You're talking about honey cask. You're talking about they're toasting everything under the sun.
You know what I call it?
It's insane.
Zinfandel, cask.
Yeah.
You have Jesus Tear cask. You have Unicorn Fart cask. You have all the grotesque casks. I'll tell you right now. Number one on my list to actually find. If you find any Scotch that was finished in a Bordeaux cask, jump on it.
Oh, Bordeaux. Yeah, that's a good one.
Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Second, port. You almost cannot go wrong with port finishes, and a few people mentioned that here. Port finishes, you almost can mess that up. So it's almost like a sure thing. After that, I would say American oak, or because you have that. French oak. French oak have a lot of that chocolatey note.
Oh yeah, how can I forget French oak? French oak's probably my number one.
Correct, French oak, and then when you go to the fourth one, will be the Marsala. The Marsala for me because it's adventurous enough. It gets your thing buzzing and crackling around, so it kind of gets you interested.
Yeah, I don't know what about Marsala it is in that type of finish, but when I drink it, when I taste it, it brings me back to like my grandmother's garden. There's something earthy and almost like a basil characteristic to it that I get. It's something peppery and earthy to it to go along with that sweet. I don't know what it is about Marsala, but it's almost like a nostalgic flavor for me. This is actually a good point, Nick Foles. Imagine a collab with Hood Somm and Matt from Whiskey Crusaders. Yeah, your two collections can. You guys would. I don't even know.
You know what
would happen.
I'll tell you right now. I'm always open to collaborate, but I feel like most people are afraid or don't want to collaborate. That's how the feeling I get. But I would tell you right now, I'm the number one person in this industry that say we are family. Like that's how I feel. As long as you love people and you love whiskey, we gonna rock. I don't care.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
High West. Yeah. High West will finish anything and anything. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm with you on the port. Yeah, port. Yeah, port and French.
French.
Port sometimes to me, I rather
Yeah, you
have
hit and miss.
a tawny port than a ruby port.
Yeah,
I like the darker port cask rather than the ruby, which is a little bit brighter. I like some of the nuttiness you get in an older port cask.
correct.
Yeah, Manzanilla casks I could see. I know kind of the what was the Mizunara cask is kind of the
No, Jason, don't you call
oh
that
no,
name.
I'm saying it's kind of like the new popular one that
Okay, I
people are
was about to
trying.
tell you, if you want to choose violence, if you
Yeah.
want us to start fighting on this show now, don't bring that
Yeah.
name around here.
Amontillado, Fino, Manzanilla.
Fino is also very good.
Fino's a good
Very,
one.
very good Fino. Yeah.
Yep. I will send you an old French oak from Tomatin just to, oh shit. Yes.
Oh yeah,
French oak is probably my favorite that I could I like anything. Even bourbon and American whiskeys that they finish in French oak. Like I give Buffalo Trace a lot of shit, but when I got to try their Charter Oak French oak release, somebody sent me a sample of that one. Even though it's a lower proof, oh my god, I absolutely love that bottle. But you know, it's a complete. You're talking about unicorn farts. That's basically what that bottle is.
Correct.
You never see it,
Never.
but man, that is. I love that bottle.
I have one of the French oaks is the purple one. I don't know which one it is, but I had to sell my soul and part of my future kids to be able to get that.
What's up, Jacket from a fellow owl? Glad to see you here with Mash and Drums.
Hey,
awesome,
that's Omaha whiskey lovers.
The best French oak finish so far that has a DC sent me this.
Yeah,
holy shit, DC.
I never had that, but I will tell you right now,
sample.
I have single malt that were finished in French oak, and even blind. Here's the thing: even blind, I can tell you which one is French oak because of it's almost not because I'm from a French country, but French oak have a weird signature.
Yeah, no, it does. This is my I'm waiting for this finish to come out. The mozzarella cask with red sauce. I'm ready for that cask.
It's like the mozzarella with the red sauce.
I want the mozzarella cask. I want the cannelloni cask. I want the Gavatelli cask. I want all that.
Yeah. Give me the deep dish pizza finish sauce.
Yeah, listen, man. Deep dish pizza ain't pizza. Fight me. It's not pizza.
Oh, you choosing violence. Don't bring me into this. I'm an immigrant from Africa. I'm not going to speak on deep dish pizza. You want to talk about jollof rice, then I'll be the first one to start talking.
Yeah, the butter pecan cask. That's right. Agreed about the Glendronach Mizunara. That's what popped into my mind. Yeah, Glendronach Mizunara. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's not forget that Rabbit Hole released their Mizunara cask. One that sold. What would they price? They priced that one at $1,500.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But do you know why, though? So I like to be fair when it comes to some of these statements.
Now we're talking. Now with prosciutto stave.
Prosciutto stave.
Listen, that'll be a salty. You know what? No joke. I drink peated whiskey with prosciutto. Like when I eat prosciutto, because it's like salty and meaty. You get a good peated whiskey, man.
Let me tell you the plate you need. Okay, for somebody who loves peat. You need, are you ready? You need some smoked Gouda. You need some prosciutto. You need some aged chèvre. You need some camembert. It's the stinkiest cheese you ever had.
Yeah, that's a stinky ass cheese, man.
And I'm telling you, and a heavily peated Octomore behind you, you will go to heaven and come back. Because what happened is that the whiskey twists the taste of the cheese. And next thing you know, you're like, are you sure I'm eating stinky cheese?
James Michael, best 18 under $100 in your opinion. I'm listening. Best 18-year-old scotch under $100.
We'll start with the one you're drinking now, the Glen Scotia.
Yeah, well, yeah, 18
under
18 and under. I mean, I don't think there is an 18-year-old Scotch for under $100, is there?
So 18 under 100. What about Bowmore 18? Is Bowmore 18 over 100?
Yeah, I believe so. Wait, Lagavulin 16 with a fudgy brownie will change your life. What?
That's true. That is
All right,
also true.
Scott. I
So
got
I
you,
will
man.
tell you the reason why those are very apparent is because if you bring any stinks or any chocolate, it definitely work with peat. Yeah.
Stinky cheese and Isla Scotch. Sound like yeah, that's
Dream
like
come true, dude. I'm telling you, like if you never done it, do it. Probably your home is gonna hate you for 2 days.
oh yeah, Madeira. Madeira is good too. Yeah, Tomatin 18. That's the one I was trying to think of. That's under $100.
We know why
Glen
it's under
Farkless. Yeah, Glen
100 bucks.
Farkless. Yeah, the Glen. I don't know. I'm not that high on Glen Farkless. I mean, they do have some really good prices on there, but
Okay.
they're okay to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay to me.
Kirkland. Single malt.
Oh, Kirkland single malt. Is that any good?
The 22 was like 90. It was like $90, 89, $90.
Yeah, the new Tomatin 18 is only 40 ABV. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably why. That's probably why
I
it's
can
under
brush my teeth with
$100.
that.
Yeah, that's probably
I
why
can
it's
brush
under
my teeth with
$100.
that.
Yeah, honestly, just go with the solid 15-year and pay 70-90. I
Right.
agree. I think there's not many of them that are a huge step up from 15 to 18 for the money. And Glen Scotia, which I'm going to pour next, is a big example of that, because Glen Scotia 15 for the money for what is this, $75-$80?
Yeah. It's like
15-year-old,
$79.99.
and this is an Isla Scotch, so you're looking at, I mean, damn,
a solid pour.
46% ABV. It's a little bit higher ABV. Non-chill filtered as well. Non-chill
Can
filtered.
you bring that thing up? Kirkland as in Costco. Trust me.
Yeah.
Kirkland as in Costco have juice that will blow your mind.
Oh, Kirkland is Alexander Murray. Okay.
Yeah, Kirkland is Alexander Murray. I believe they have a 10-year agreement. So we are going to see all the way to 30-year release. They just now on 25. They started at 20.
So good.
So we have 5 more years.
This is so good. And it doesn't like smack you in the face with smoke with like a Lafroig or an Ardbeg or even like a Springbank. It's a lot more subdued. It's more balanced, sweet spice, little smoke.
You can't go wrong. That's probably, for me, I tell people all the time, Campbelltown. If somebody's talking about Campbelltown whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Not Isla. Yeah, that's right. Glen Scotia's Campbelltown. That's what
it's Campbelltown. That's what I'm telling you. Campbelltown whiskey. That's what I.
Yeah, when you think of Campbelltown, you think of those really, the high price bottles. You have, like the Springbanks of the world.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot of Campbelltown.
Yeah. One of my favorites is right here.
Ooh.
This is
we pulling the big guns.
This is the Hazelburn.
Yeah, we pulling the big guns.
This is the 13-year Oloroso sherry cask.
Yeah.
Oh my God, 50.3% ABV. This thing, you talk about, now this is a sherry bomb.
Yeah.
This thing is all just raisin.
I've been looking for that bottle. I think I only have I think I have the 15 years somewhere, but that 18-year, I've asked anybody, and they're like, dude, there was only one on the shelf.
Yeah, dude, this is there was 9,900 bottles of these. Holy shit. It's so good. I'm actually going to do a little comparison here. Why not? The Campbelltown Funk.
No, that is hard to find a lot of Campbelltown. Yeah. So Enoch, yeah.
There's like barely any of it here in Ohio where I live. It sucks. There's no Springbank anywhere. Get your shit together, Ohio.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love Springbank.
Yeah, this is the third. Yeah, Whiskey Throttle. This is the 13-year. I love this one. So, with all the single malts and all the different distilleries that you've tried, I know you said you're a peat head, but if you were to pick out 2 or 3 special distilleries from the island of Scotland that really Like no matter what they're putting out, you're buying it. What are those? What are those distilleries for you?
I would say first one, of course, like I said, is Bunnahabhain.
Bunnahabhain, okay.
Bunnahabhain put something out, I'm buying it. I can turn around and tell you I have a lot of distillery only release. That's how much I pay for. I pay for extra for the shipping just for it to make it to me. That's one. Second, that will put up something that will pick up is probably Highland Park. I respect the work they put out. Highland Park is definitely the work. I love what they do. Another person would definitely be. I really respect what Rachel does. So Ben Riach.
Oh, Ben Riach. Okay. Ben Riach, Highland Park. Have you gotten into the ultra age Highland Parks, so the 30 and the 25?
No, actually, I stopped at 20, I believe, but I have a lot of bud picks. So a lot of cask picks from all around the US and in Scotland of the Highland Park. Because for me, it's just very interesting. One of my favorite independent bottlers is Signatory. So I have a lot of signatories from all around the place that actually get Signatory come out with something. If I can afford it, I'll get it. I believe in the quality, single fill, single cask all the time.
So are you into Bruckletti?
Of course. Yeah. Like I just said it at the beginning that when Octomore comes out, okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't even wait. You're on the website.
I don't wait for it to get to the US. Like I order it directly from Bruckletti to make it here. I wish I had more opportunity to get the cast the cast release, but O.W. O'Connell actually this year picked a 10-year Bruckletti. This right here.
Oh, look at that.
What was the ABV, you think?
Oh, I didn't even catch it. Man.
63.1%.
Wait, what? 60? Yeah. 120 proof and change?
120. No, 120. Yeah, it's 124. Holy 127. Shit.
That's
is
crazy.
What it is. Non-till filter, 10-year, heavily peated. Ridiculous.
Damn, dude, that sounds epic.
So I finished the first bottle already. Like I'm on my second now, and the only way you could get it is on 375. Like it's not even a whole 750.
Yeah, it's too rare to give you a full bottle.
No, it's that rare because it doesn't happen often.
I agree, Sugar Kitty. I think the old Highland Park 18 was definitely steps above the new Viking version that they have today for sure.
I would tell you right now, I love the old picks, like the old picks of Highland Park.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I have older picks of Highland Park that if I pour you one, it's like dark cherry. It's like motor oil. That's literally what the color is.
Yeah.
Like motor oil. And I love every part of it.
So do you have a specific favorite bottle in the Bruckletti lineup besides Octomore that you like? Is it
Yeah, so for me, the 10-year Port Charlotte for me is really my go-to every time. Is what I would drink. But I love their cast release every time I can catch one. But beside that, from the Bruckletti line, I love when they do the projects. They have a few projects that they come out with. Those projects are really interesting because, especially the one that are the pre-Octomore, because before they become Octomore, because he really, in my head, it's like being a nerd. I love to always taste those things to know exactly where.
Shut up, you jabroni. Gotta love Daniel. I'm gonna stop using proof
when you're talking about scotch.
Yeah, I think Port Charlotte is I think one of the coolest things that kind of like the geeky side of whiskey that Bruckletti does is when you punch in the code for your classic Lottie, you could find out exactly like what the maturation of the blend is in that bottle. Right. And it's crazy the amount of shit that's in that. It's nuts. real quick, I do want to give a shout out to the mods in the chat. It just seems like every week there's people trying to come in and spam the chat, and the mods are handling it. So thank you so much. Everyone's on the ball tonight. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's see. What'd you think of the bear barley from Bruckletti? Did you get to try that one?
No, I have not. I
Haven't
did
tried
not
that
try
one?
that one. No. I think the latest one that I received is the one that was sold with the Octomore, which is the Project Matic, the biodynamic project.
Oh, I think someone just brought that up. Oh, here it is. Yeah, someone just brought that up in the chat.
Yeah.
Maximum. The
Yeah.
biodynamic product was interesting. I have it, not tried it.
So it's 50%. It only came with my Octomore. It is a 10-year. There was 5,000 bottles of this. He said he's saying here, and he's handwritten. He said the ingredient and the quality of this is an obvious choice of our relentless pursuit of flavor. We hadn't predicted that 10-year it will be this so heavily influenced by the thought and the sustainable agriculture. Just so the beauty and elegance of our whiskey. So
Nice.
I mean, they're very environmental conscious when it comes to what they produce there at Bruckletti. So you got to give them a shout out for that.
That's awesome, man. Oh man,
That's one of the things that Europe is trying to push is being sustainable when you actually are making your whiskey. And there it is a big debate there right now, even in Ireland, how they're sustaining all the grains that are coming from the farm to be able to go to the farmers to feed the cattle and make it go around and around. So,
yeah, I read some interesting stuff about Whiskey Magazine on how I guess a lot of distilleries are trying to become fully sustainable
mhm,
and green, I guess, or whatever, however you want to define that.
mhm.
And also, what I thought was interesting was two sides, two sides of the earth here. We're talking about peat
Uh-huh.
and them trying to sustain peat and the peat
Correct.
bogs, because the amount of peat that is gone through on a yearly basis in Scotland to craft whiskeys is crazy. And with the demand that whiskey is in these days, that the way the climate, and it's getting warmer, and it's affecting how they can keep finding the peat bogs. On the other side of it, you have in the US, you have a real concern for trees. And because without trees, there's no barrels. And without
Yeah.
barrels, we're just going to drink freaking White Dog. So, the sustainability of trees and how much they're cutting down to keep up with the demand to make these barrels.
Yeah.
And they have to be certain type of trees, obviously, certain type of size.
Yeah.
There's distillers and there's distilleries. I know Buffalo Trace and I think Heaven Hill. They have actually special divisions within their distilleries that are just strictly dedicated to helping conserve and to replant trees within the U.S.
Angels Envy, don't forget them.
Yeah,
Every
exactly.
year, Angels Envy would take all the sales of November, I believe, to
Yeah.
actually replant the amount of tree based on number of sales that they've done.
Yeah, I
Wes
mean,
is
it's
very adamant on that.
yeah, it's insane. So I think we're cutting down trees, but I think there's also a lot of the distillers that know that without oak, they have nothing.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
so
And
they're
and
trying.
we already barely there was an article that came the last time saying that we already on the verge of running low in the amount of barrels that are going to come out in a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all it's really about, again, that sustainability and just being aware of what's happening you know within the, because it's great when you can come out with a great whiskey, but man, if you don't have barrels and if you don't have that type of, if you don't have a barrel to put your whiskey in, then we're not drinking anything.
And
So
that's another thing is I don't know if the average consumer knows the life of a barrel. That's the
Yeah.
other thing I tell people. If you know the life of a barrel, you'd be like, whoa, that thing went from all the way here to all the way there.
Yep.
I was sitting in Ireland when we were trying to talk about we were tasting so on Bow Street, which is their front facing store slash Rick House in Dublin, of Jameson. They they keep all their cast strength release there.
Yep.
And funny thing is, when I was in there, I think I read more American names than I wanted to, because you go into the back, you do this secret tasting, and as you going through, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is where all our cast strengths are." And you're like, "Oh okay," and then you look around, and they don't stamp or change the barrel at all. So you're like, wild turkey, wild turkey, wild turkey, angel envy, wild turkey, wild turkey. You know, so you're like, what?
Yeah.
Uh, what is happening right now? And you're like, oh, this is where all those barrels that left America, are going to be. Then from here, they're going somewhere else. Then after that, they move into, to a brewer. Then from a brewer, it go into a coffee guy. From a coffee guy, I mean, it goes for so many places that you're like, and some people will not even let their barrels go, like the Macallan and the Spanish barrels. They are restaining those barrels over and over.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some viability to that, to reuse casks and to shave them down and to kind of, I guess just extend the life of one single barrel. And I think they're still looking into that. I think there's still organizations looking into how to extend the life of a barrel, and I get that. But if you do now, I know Scotland's been doing that for years. But when it comes down to American whiskey and bourbon, part of that rule is a new American cask. Now, if you start shaving the inside of the barrel to make new room or to get close to that wood, I don't think it works that way. You remember, the bourbon is, because of the way bourbon ages with the weather, it extends out, it pushes back in. I mean, if you ever looked at a cross section of a stave, I mean, the whiskey makes it halfway in. So I don't see you shaving it that much down to put whiskey back in the barrel. You would have to change the laws, the rules. I just don't see that happening in the American whiskey, type of
Matt, that is a funny ass comment.
yeah. Peat. So I think Everything Spicy was asking what peat is. So peat is this organic matter. It forms in bogs. It's got high acidity. It's inhabited. It's got like marshy plants, and it's got trees and grasses and all sorts of funkiness going on in it. If you look up peat bogs online, you'll see like these kind of long rectangles, and it looks like just bricks of mud, but it's all this organic matter that's built into it. It's basically decayed organic material,
I
and
tell people,
it can
I
actually
tell
be used.
people,
It can actually
think
be
of
used
it
as a
as
fossil fuel,
truffle.
right? It can
Think
actually be
of it
used as
as
a fossil
truffle.
fuel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is think of it as truffle. If you
yeah,
ever actually, the first time I was in Toulouse, in France, I actually was in a place where
exactly.
this guy had a pig that they used to go get truffles. So the pig would dig for truffles, and the only thing Pete remind me of is actually truffles. That's they're organically made from decay, and they just stay in this bug and they grow there. It's like an organic matter. So
If they can clone beef and make an unrecognizable hamburger, then I guess we're only months away from synthetic oak made out of dead leaves. Hey, I mean, man, I don't know.
I
That's
told
a
you
legal
that's
requirement to
some
sell
fun.
more casks. Used barrels are very valuable. Hey, listen, I agree.
That is true.
I think there's something to that, like I said, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see it. Listen, the government, when it comes to whiskey, especially in Kentucky, the way that they tax barrels, these guys are paying millions of dollars every couple of weeks for the barrels that are aging. They're just trying to get their hands on it, and if reusing barrels is going to cut into that, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. So
So
I think the I mean the everybody is finding an opportunity to kind of survive, right? So
yeah,
the cooperage is surviving because they're still cranking out barrels. The barrel sellers are also there because they are, I mean, you have barrel brokers. These people are are going around selling and reselling. I was talking to this French guy that owned a barrel company. He says, "Oh yeah, we rent barrels." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh no, we just lease you the barrel, and when you're done, you bring it back to us."
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a whole business.
Either some legal definition is carved out for bourbon made with used barrels, or the available stock of many bourbons will drop dramatically. Pick your poison.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think we're seeing the use of used barrels a lot in American whiskey now with either finishes or also with light whiskey. So,
Yes.
I mean, we are seeing that to some degree. I think whiskey would age better in used oak here in Texas. I agree with that. I feel like if you have used oak, you're not getting such of that intense oak flavor that you get in from Texas. But then you also couldn't call it a bourbon. It could just be called Texas whiskey. And for some distillers, say what you will, you want that bourbon word on the label.
Correct.
So that makes it a little bit problematic. Master Drum, Pete was not used to make whiskey. He was used to
was used to actually. It was used as fuel. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, peat bog. It's a fossil fuel.
Correct.
So it was used to heat homes, and somebody along the line figured out this is how I'm gonna burn it to dry the barley, give it that smoky characteristic.
Right.
And there you go. And now I'm Googling bog mummies. Hey man, do you want to? So we have about, let's see, we'll probably go till probably maybe another. Are you good to stick around another 15, 20 minutes? Maybe half an hour?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you want to pop open some Old Carter?
Yeah.
All right.
I can never say no to the Old Carter.
So what's your favorite batch of Old Carter? What's the one?
My favorite batch is not open, so don't start shit.
Well, how do you know it's your favorite batch then?
Because I've been through a couple bottle of them, and I decided that because of the price of Old Carter, I'm never gonna open the one I have now.
Is it? Let me know, because I'm wondering if it's the same as my favorite batch. What is it?
Also, my favorite batch is batch 2 bourbon.
The batch 2 bourbon.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot what that tastes like. I finished that.
I know. That's why I keep telling you that don't start shit. It won't be no shit.
My favorite's 5.
This is how much I would tell you how much I like Old Carter. Let me flex a little bit. My favorite, my batch 6 signed by Sherry and Mark.
There you go.
And I always tell Sherry that she can't take it back. She did say she loves me. She said love you, so she can't take it back. That's it.
Let me see here. What do I got back here?
I have. Let me see. I have a couple open. So I have a batch. Okay,
that's the batch 6. That's the batch 6 American.
I have batch 3. Batch 3. Batch 3 American open, and the rye as well.
I'm gonna flex on you here a little bit. You ready for this one? This is the. I'll wait till you're on camera here.
Okay. All right.
This is batch 9.
I'm very curious to see what you say. All right. Let's put them all back. I only have too many Old Carters. All right. Okay. All right. Back at it.
All right, we're back in it. So
okay. I only have 2 open right now. Batch 3. I have the batch 3.
Batch 3 bourbon or American whiskey?
Batch 3 American.
Okay.
And I have the batch 7 of the rye open right now.
All right, so here's a little bit of flex for you. Ready? Okay. Batch number 1 of the American, signed by the Carters.
Ooh, okay. I do have the batch 1 of the American, but not signed. I do have the one back there. Yeah, batch 1 of the American.
All right. Well, I'm gonna drink this because this is an absolute butter scotch, butter pecan bomb, and I
also
love it.
have the latest one of the festival of the when they did the Railbird Festival. And,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take that with me to Kentucky because guess what?
You want them to sign it?
No, there is a string of filter sheet in it.
Wait, what?
Like no one cut that. There is a string of sheet in it. I'm not even fucking with you. This is not a joke. Like, hold on,
Okay.
I'll show you right now. There's literally a string in my bottle.
I do want to tell everyone real quick. Following our show tonight, we tune into Whiskey Women. We'll be celebrating Jen Ardolino, wife of Cheech Ardolino. From Encore. Wait, let me see that. Oh yeah, I do see it. I do see it in there.
Yeah, there is literally a straggler in my old Carter.
What the hell? I gotta get Mark and Sherry on the phone right now. What's happening?
I'm telling you, I texted Sherry. I said, Sherry, I have a single barrel, bottle 26 of 156 bottle from the festival that was released, and there's literally a straggler in it.
Those signatures are fake. Sherry pays me 14 cents to sign them.
Thank you so much, Matt.
There you go, Matt. I think I actually caught Matt signing those. So Matt was signing those in his Lotus.
But yes, let's. Yeah, there.
Man,
I got a floater in there.
Yeah, we got a floater. Yeah, Women of Whiskey is up next. We're going to be celebrating Jen Ardolino's birthday, so everybody can head there right after we are done here in a little bit.
Women in Whiskey?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the link. Audriana dropped it in the chat. Women of Whiskeys. Jen Ardolino's birthday live. I'm sure she's going to be drinking some epic shit. So
there we go. I have some old Carter right here. American 12-year. Right here.
I mean, I'm not sure how people in the chat feel, but I think their American whiskey blends are probably the ones that are worth the money even more than the bourbons.
That's true.
The bourbons I think are great, but they can really vary from batch to batch depending on what Mark and Sherry are blending.
Yeah.
The American whiskeys, even though some are better than others here and there, they are always just so damn good.
They are a winner.
Oh shit! I Whiskey She Wines is in the house. What is going on? Is that Sam? That's Sam or Bobby? Who's there?
I Whiskey She Wines.
Yep, that's Bobby and Sam. I've hung out with them multiple times. They are just two of the greatest people you'll ever meet. So
those are the cool kid club. I'm just coming slowly into it.
That's it, dude. I'm gonna get you connected with I gotta get you connected with Matt over at Whiskey Crusaders because he's got quite the collection.
Do you know who I have beef with? I have beef with Matt.
Matt
doesn't want to bring me on his channel because he knows I'll taste him.
Wait, Matt from Whiskey Crusaders, or Matt from ADHD Whiskey?
Boom! I said it. Matt is afraid.
We gotta get
somebody will have a better palate than him. So he doesn't want to bring me on his channel.
You heard it here. Shots fired, guys.
Yeah, Matt is like, why will I bring the Hood Sommelier to my channel? He's gonna outtaste me and tell me some wisdom from Africa.
But by the way, I need to mention if none of you have watched ADHD Whiskey's review on the Rare Stash. It's one of the greatest like beatdowns of a whiskey you'll ever watch. I absolutely love every minute of it. You guys need to watch that video.
When he talked about Conor McGregor whiskey, what do you call that? Proper 12.
Mm-hmm.
I damn near fell off my chair because you had to see, like, it wasn't what Matt was saying, it was the comments that came under there. Like, he pissed off a whole set of people. As a whiskey person, I damn near lost my shit because I'm like, this is some funny ass stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what. Listen, I give it to anyone that could call out bullshit on a whiskey or a brand. If you see bullshit and you have the balls to call it out, immediate respect.
Matt has a better way of doing it because he's so sarcastic. So no one, if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Me, I just come out with all the heat from Africa. This is
Yeah,
shit.
like
I'm not drinking
Matt
it.
calls out bullshit and people laugh.
Yeah.
I call out bullshit and people are like, oh shit.
Oh.
Oh man. Oh yeah, the Dickel Tabasco is a tough one to beat for sure. But man, the rare stat. See, he backed up the rare stats with some really really good stats, and then on top of that, he whatchamacallit, he turned it around, and then he put himself in a Lotus, like driving around corners. He's like, if I could even get in a Lotus, what would it go? And that's all I was in my head. Oh my god.
Matt, I did not want to win the whiskey taster because we don't need a lot of competition of great people in the competition. So I did say women first, so I kind of biffed it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Matt, I don't know if you're on TikTok, but there's this fight between the Ventilord and 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 the Rogue, and that's me and HGHG Bourbon. Like I'm gonna start a whole fight online on YouTube with whiskey YouTube, say who's gonna join the Hood Sommelier and who's gonna be a part of the HGHG kid.
Yeah, this is the best way to describe it. Yeah, this is the best way to describe it. The Dickel Tabasco was definitely more entertaining, but the rare stash, that was raw.
That was raw. Like
yeah,
I'll tell you right now,
that was unfiltered.
Like even I at that moment, I'm like, okay, I give this one to Matt. This is some funny ass shit.
Yeah,
I don't spend
awesome.
a lot of time on YouTube, but I did. I'm like, I need to hear this all the way to the end. But I literally spend time in the comments, like because if you see what people write in the comment, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I got like 4,000 comments when I went after Blue Run, but I'm not talking about Blue Run anymore. I feel like I kind of put a neat bow around that one in the disappointing whiskey video I made. So,
oh man, these are there's some bottles that I want to talk about. Like everybody knows now that my relationship with Chattanooga whiskey would never be repaired. So because the first time I ever had Chattanooga whiskey, the first thing I said, I was like, they owe me $69.99 immediately. I need my money back immediately.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whiskey game it's tough right now. I mean,
it is.
You're seeing a lot of shady shit go down with barrel picks, just marketing. It's crazy, man.
You can't. I mean, is almost anything. Do you see Jason mentioning Blue Run again?
Yeah, no more popcorn. I think I'm done trashing Blue Run for the time being. I'm gonna let them do what they do. Get out some releases. We'll see how the brand evolves. But if I just see 2022, just a wealth of releases like every few weeks with a different color butterfly, then you know what they're about. So, so Hood Sommelier, man, what do you have as far as like content and videos? How often are you putting out content now?
So I'll tell you, it was a little tough because my camera guy, I'm finding a new way to create content now. My camera guy moved to, I used to work with a student. I pay him a stipend every week for us to create content. But he graduated and I'm happy for him. But that means that I lost a great person in my crew. So what I'm doing now is once a week, I'm creating content now. Obviously, I'm always on Instagram. And every Monday, I have Monday Sucks with Tim, where we talk about whiskey news and just bring on guests to come chat about their whiskey or new whiskey that are coming out and tell us more about it. That's really it. But every week now I'm trying to create every Tuesday I have Wisdom from Africa, which pretty much take one thing that I used to hear from my uncle or my drunk uncle or my aunt that was trying to give me advice.
Your drunk
didn't
uncle.
make any sense. I think my most popular one that people really like is if a mosquito never lands on your balls, you never really truly understand the definition of not every situation need to be handled with violence. So that's like literally what my uncle used to tell us as kid every time we, we will be fighting.
Oh god, does everyone have a drunk uncle that just talks crazy shit?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My uncle,
Oh
as
shit.
kids, we will not. I think that his favorite one every time we were nosy. No, that's my grandmother, and that's the one I put there. And I got so many messages about that one. Is if you bend over to count how many asshole hairs your neighbor has, you are exposing your own asshole for people to see right through you. That's like my favorite one. That's the favorite wisdom from Africa that my grandmother ever imparted to me. Like literally, that's her way to
Wow.
tell me
That
mind your business.
that needs to be on a t-shirt
Yeah,
immediately.
mind
Uh
your business. If you ever bend over to count how many assholes hair your neighbors has, uh, you're exposing your own asshole for someone to see right through you.
there
So
you go.
that's that's
That
probably the best thing. So when it comes to it, mind your business. Stay away from other people's assholes. That's pretty much it.
yeah, the striped chartreuse butterfly edition. Yeah, wasn't a fan of that one. Let's see here. What about? Oh yeah, Cohen. Yeah, Jep the Creed. There's a picture of me at Jep the Creed, and I think if I get within 100 yards of that distillery, they shoot me.
Oh
So
my
I'm not
god.
going near that again. So quick question: is that a Dunville's bottle behind Jack over his left shoulder? I
Actually,
see it.
yes.
I
This is
see
a
it.
special. This person have a very good eye. A lot of people could not pick that out.
Donald Rance does not miss any Irish whiskey.
This is a Dunville 12-year cast strength special Belfast Whiskey Fest edition. There is only about I think there's only 200 bottle of this 57.2% ABV PX Sherry Cask 2021. It was a thank you for being part of the Belfast Whiskey Fest. I interviewed Dunville, and that's what I got.
Damn, dude.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Rance can pick out an Irish at 200 yards in the rain and fog. Yeah, he's got sniper eyes when it
That
comes
is
to
that is a big deal because
yeah.
I don't understand how he found that because I just thought it was just
All
cool.
he all he saw was a gray bottle. He
I
saw a
know.
gray tube.
I'm like how like the average person could not tell
He
what
saw
that is
he
behind.
saw a gray tube with gold trim, and he's like, "Is that a Dunville?" Yeah,
Wow. That
yeah.
is that is some great eyes right there. I think that one came also with the Glendacum. Yeah, Glencadam. This also is one that came with that bottle. I was told I need to try it. Is also a refill sherry cask. Yeah, 12-year is a Highland malt, but is also a little peated Highland malt. And funny thing is 62% ABV.
Yeah.
So when I say I love cast strength, the person say I got you.
Like I've seen Donald on live streams like trying to read a bottle and he's just like, I think it says, and then he like sees one color from like a mile away. He's like, yeah, that's a Dunville. I see a
Like the
gold trim.
average person could not pick that bottle out of a crowd.
The Master Drum. I hope Blue Run releases a $1,000 bourbon that comes ready to hatch in a custom made carbon fiber cocoon. Dude, I would not. I wouldn't even. I mean, that's funny, but it's not funny because
It
they would
is.
do something like that.
I'm Matt is trying to give me some trouble, so I'm gonna let that one go.
Wisdom, dude. You could honestly, with all that wisdom from Africa, so you could literally probably just do a channel just based on that,
No,
and people
dude,
would watch.
if you guys want to see wisdom from Africa, check out my channel. It's on
Yeah,
my shorts. Every week I post one. Every Tuesday I have a wisdom from Africa. The one from yesterday is simple. It's truly about awareness. Is if a blind man tells you that you're gonna throw a rock at your head, is because he has his foot in it. What that means is like my mom used to say that. She said, when someone say they're gonna hurt you, believe them, and also don't judge people on their appearances. So
yeah, but see, You have to explain it because sometimes when you hear it for the first time, you're like, wait, what?
Oh, do you know
You have
do you know the one people were confused by?
what?
So a kid can play with his mom titties all day, but would never dare to play with his dad's balls. Are you
Okay.
ready?
All right.
Those
So
two
so
things brought him on this
so
planet.
translate that for me.
Yeah, those two things gave him life and brought him on this earth. But you know what you need to play with and love, and you know what you need to fear and
Ah,
respect.
got it. Okay. I feel you on that one now. Holy shit.
Yeah. So so it's one of those things that African wisdom are so wild
Oh man.
that by the time you hear it, you go, okay, it cannot mean what I think it means. Right? Like when we were kids growing up, let's say like you didn't do your homework, like you didn't do your homework, you didn't do your homework, and you were procrastinating. Do you know what my uncle used to say? You know what my uncle used to say?
Don't say it. I'm gonna die because I got whiskey in my throat.
He said, a kid that goes to bed with an itchy booty will wake up with stinky fingers and probably pink eye. So fix your problem when they're happening.
What is with all the African wisdom about asses?
Oh no, and that's actually one of the things. Like a lot of our wisdom have to do are so
Oh my
parabolically
god.
like sexual that they're not really sexual, but they are though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do
This is
you
some
want to
of
know? I'm gonna drop one that I haven't dropped yet. It's
this is some of the most epic. This is some of the most epic and mind bending shit I've ever heard.
all right, like literally. All right,
All right, wait. Save the last one for like right before we sign off.
right before we stop, I have a special one for y'all.
All right, special one. Let's
One that I
do
have not dropped yet. You guys get to have the exclusive.
let's do one more like banger of a pour here before we call it a night, and we pick it over to Women of Whiskeys. So what are you?
What are we doing?
I don't know. What are we breaking out, man?
I wanna at this point here. I want to do. Maybe I would do an Irish one.
You want to do an Irish?
I
mean, we did Scotch, we did bourbon. You want to break out a good Irish whiskey?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. You know where I'm going. I'm going to my Middleton Dare Gaelic.
Ooh.
Yep.
I would do. I can do my Middleton 2019.
All right. What's in the box? Oh my God, those oh my God, I'm dead with this the African wisdom. Holy shit.
Yep, I would do my 2019 Middleton.
Mash and Drum demonetized.
There you go.
I've seen worse stuff go down on Whiskey Tube, so I'm not really worried about it. Oh my God. All right. So this is the Middleton Very Rare Dare Gaelic Knockrath Forest. This is tree number 3, I believe. Again, I got to thank Donald Rance in the chat for actually, he told me about this, but Matt from Whiskey Crusaders gave this to me in a blind tasting against a bunch of other hardcore whiskeys. And this was easily my favorite. And I couldn't believe that it was an Irish whiskey when I tasted it. So much to the point where as soon as I tasted it, I ran out and grabbed one as soon as it became available. Cause it's just, you don't realize the flavors an Irish whiskey can get when it gets up in this age with the tropical notes, the pineapple, like fruit roll up. Oh my God.
I don't know why this 2019 have never been my favorite. And I hate it because I spent a lot of money on it.
Dare Gaelic is still the only Irish I haven't cracked yet. Not sure it's beating Blue Spot though. Whiskey Crossing, I would say this. I think the Dare Gaelic is more has more depth of flavor than the Blue Spot. But what the Blue Spot does have is freaking amazing. So I could kind of get what you're saying there. Man. So which one did you crack open?
The 2019.
2019 Middleton, very rare.
Yep. There you go.
So what don't you like about it?
For me, it's a little faint on the nose. It's very, very faint on the nose. It doesn't have that I like to call, a certain je ne sais quoi on the nose to bring you in, kind of attract you in.
Should Redbreast 27 be my first scotch? Well, Redbreast 27 is an Irish whiskey. It's
Dude,
not a scotch.
Redbreast 27 is like drinking jam.
Yeah,
It's like
I love Redbreast 27, but I hate the friggin' price of it.
Oh my God. And like the guy looked at me without blinking and he's like $4.99 without blinking.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I don't know. And the guy behind me like, I'll take it.
What's up, Royan? Cheers, man. Oh my God. This is still up there, one of the finest, not just Irish whiskey, just one of the finest whiskeys I've had. I just love these oh my God, these different like forest releases, these very rare. My goodness. They're Gaelics. The proof on this one is 56.5.
Oh yeah, no wonder you fucking like it.
Yeah.
This shit right here is 40% ABV.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
I got screwed on this deal.
Yeah.
It have a really nice box.
Yeah, so Donald rants. He says that 2019 is just an okay, very rare. The amount of pop still isn't as high as the 2020 and has more grain. The 2020 is the best very rare I've had since 2016.
I got screwed on that deal. On God.
I don't know why Ben Demon Hunter's laughing. Joseph Zeidner says, totally agree about the very rare. It's too light. The Barry Crockett. Oh, yes. The Barry Crockett's. I totally agree. If you're going to spend the money, go Barry Crockett.
I got screwed on this deal.
I got screwed on this deal. Okay.
I mean, beautiful, beautiful box. Beautiful box.
Oh, it is beautiful. Yep.
Whomever put the thing in, somebody asked me one time, what is a whiskey you bought because of the box? I say, here you go.
All right,
and gentlemen.
All right, Jaques. Before we sign off here, tell everyone real quick where to find you, how often you post, before you give your last bit of African wisdom.
So I'm Hood Sommelier, and it's Hood Sommelier on Instagram. Follow my Instagram. I'm the most active there. Hood Sommelier on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm trying to do every 2 weeks. I'll be dropping a video about something I'm mad about in the whiskey industry. So I will talk about something that I heard somebody talk about, or somebody come in and was very wrong. I'm a caveat guy because I'm French. Excuse me. That's all we do. We come and pick out one thing that somebody said that we believe is wrong. And every Tuesday on my channel, you always see Wisdom from Africa. And that's usually one of my favorite pours that I'm having, is anything that you hear from my uncle or anything. And if you're a TikTok fans, I'm on TikTok under Hood Sommelier as well. I kind of keep all my content about Streamline. So anywhere you follow me, you kind of have to you see the same thing anywhere. But I always drop videos anytime I get a chance to drop them, till I get a new camera guide that will tell me. I feel like, what do you call it? Jason here does really well on reviews. Every time I go online, by the time I want to review a bottle, somebody already did. I'm like, okay, these people are good at reviewing. I want to make sure that I do something different and to educate people on something different. I think my next video is going to be about a single barrel expression that people are calling trash, without trying, just to educate people on reading the label is very important. But it's Hood Sommelier on all the channels. Just put Hood Sommelier. You can find me.
All right. Well, I definitely want to thank you for coming on, hanging out tonight, just dropping some knowledge, talking whiskeys. We drank bourbon. We drank Irish whiskey. We drank
everything.
Drank some great single malt. We kind of ran around the world a little bit, which is awesome.
Correct.
So, all right. So before we sign off, give us your last, before we kick it off, remember real quick, guys, two programming notes. Next week, not sure I will be live just yet. I am going to be in Kentucky Wednesday night for a Thursday morning barrel pick for the Master Journey Whiskey Club. We will be at Rebel, doing another Rebel and an Ezra pick, single barrel on Thursday next week. So Wednesday night, if I get there on time and I'm able to set up and have good internet, I will do a live broadcast there with the Hawk. We'll talk some whiskey and see what's going on there. And also, again, tune in to Women of Whiskeys right after this to celebrate Jen Ardolino's birthday. And remember, this Friday, the Average Drinker, they're having a big fundraiser for the Colorado fires going on there. And I think I covered all of it. Now to you, Hood Sommelier, what is your last piece of African wisdom?
Wisdom from Africa. There is no virgin in the maternity ward of a hospital. Moral of the story, stop asking obvious questions. That is a Mash and Drum exclusive before it comes Tuesday to everybody else.
And to that, how can we even fucking top that?
Yeah, so, thank you for having me on. Thanks for bringing me on the channel. Thanks for being one of those people that collaborate and are not afraid to actually jump out of your comfort zone to actually bring a new channel on. So
absolutely, man. I think you definitely got a newfound following tonight. So I really appreciate it. Cheers to you. Cheers to everybody. See you. Hopefully, we'll see you next week on the Mash and Drum live from Kentucky. If we don't, I will see you the following week, and we'll I have something fun in store. So cheers, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mash and Drum. Cheers to Jaques Hood Sommelier. Take care, guys. See you soon.